Kia ora. We'll start off by taking a little bit of a look further afield out towards Tropical Cyclone Jasper. Now that's going to stay a fair way away from New Zealand. It is going to move down towards those northern coasts of Queensland over the next few days. Keep up to date with the latest information from the Bureau of Meteorology. But for us in New Zealand, a very different story. High pressure becomes the dominant force as we head through towards the weekend, and it keeps plenty of places dry and fine. You can see on the satellite charts from this morning, plenty of clear sky across New Zealand. As we go through the rest of Thursday afternoon, we'll find a few showers springing up again through the Bay of Plenty, perhaps one or two sharp ones through there, and a touch more cloud pushing back in towards those southern parts of Canterbury, bringing some drizzle into through those regions as well. And that's what we'll find as we start the day for tomorrow as well. As we go through the rest of the night, you can see that high pressure becomes more dominant, driving across most of the country. And for many of us, it's a fairly settled night as well, with temperatures around about 12 or 13 across those northern parts of the North Island, and down as low as 7 or 8 in the far south. As we head in towards Friday, high pressure rules the roost. Most spots staying fine and dry. A few things to watch out for though. More wet weather back in towards the far south, and some more showers, perhaps even the odd rumble of thunder re-springing up across the parts of the Bay of Plenty. But there's plenty of dry, fine weather. Places like Auckland might find a bit of a cloudy start first thing, but that should clear away quite nicely, and a fine looking afternoon. Similar story down towards Hamilton, through Taranaki, and even down towards Wellington as well. A touch more cloud around these eastern coasts, and we'll find these showers springing up through the Bay of Plenty, perhaps running towards the Coromandel later on in the day. And like I say, just that risk of perhaps a rumble of thunder through there as well. In terms of our temperatures though, highs back to around about 22 or even 23 degrees Celsius. Not a bad looking story at all. For the South Island, again, there's plenty of dry weather in store. We'll start off with that low cloud and perhaps a few spots of drizzle through parts of Canterbury up towards Christchurch. But through the afternoon, that cloud breaks up quite nicely. A fine looking end to the day, and plenty of fine weather up towards Nelson and Marlborough as well. In the south, we've got a bit more cloud, and I think we are going to find some wet weather, some rain running towards Fiordland, and also some showers just skirting at those southern coasts of the likes of Southland as well. But they'll clear off through the evening time. We'll keep hold of that cloud through Fiordland, and we are going to find some wetter weather back towards those more southern parts as we head on in towards the weekend. But in terms of our temperatures across the South Island, again, many spots up to the high teens, even the low 20s. Not a bad looking story. A touch cooler where you have that cloud through Fiordland. As we head in towards the weekend, high pressure slides up towards the north. For Saturday across the North Island, many spots fine and dry, a pretty decent story, and for most of the South Island, most of the top of the South Island as well. You can see that we've got this next front running up from the south, bringing with it some heavy rainfall towards Westland and Fiordland. There are some severe weather watches already in place for those areas as we go through Saturday. And ahead of that front, we're going to find strong, even gale force northwesterly winds through parts of Southland, Otago, and up in towards the Canterbury High Country for Saturday into Sunday. But it is, I think, going to be a rather windy and wet one. By Sunday, that wet weather continues to move northwards up through Westland and Buller, and even in towards parts of Canterbury as well, reaching the likes of the southern parts of the North Island by the end of the day. So we are going to find the second half of the weekend is a wetter story for the North Island, but we have got those heavy rain watches across parts of Westland and Fiordland for Saturday and those early parts of Sunday, and some stronger winds to watch out for in the east through the weekend. So it's a bit of a change for the weekend itself, but another area of high pressure rebuilds back in behind that. That's it from me. This is from metservice.com.